Hi everyone, it's Agnes, and today I have a very special interview for you. Many of you watched the success story that I read out by a woman by the name of Grandma's Kitchen, and she has come to be interviewed by me today so we can get more of her story in her own words. So, welcome, Grandma's Kitchen, to the call.
Thank you so much, Anya. It's lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too. And well, not see you, but hear you. I got to see you before. So we said we would do this interview and go back to the beginning of where this all started. And
Right.
so, do you want to start back there and then we'll move forward to the rest of
Sure,
what you shared in your story? Yeah, go ahead.
sure. My journey started last year in April, and I actually got into the law of attraction because I wanted to manifest my ex. I think that's the case with most of us. When I started, I was doing the typical manifestations. I was trying to visualize. I was trying to do a lot of affirmations that the guy, he loves me. I would take his name all day and I would say things like, he wants to be with me, he wants to marry me. And I kept doing it for a month or two. It's not that it wasn't showing me results, but it was almost like a boomerang. So he would come, be nice to me, and then again he would go, and then he would come again and he would go. So I felt that something is missing. At that point, I was not introduced to Anya's. I had not seen her videos, and the other stuff that I was watching on YouTube was guiding me to do a lot of intention setting, to do a lot of visualization. But honestly, I never thought that my life or things that are deep rooted in me, my beliefs, could actually affect my affirmations and my visualization. So after a couple of weeks, when I felt that there is more to it, I can't really stop my work at asking universe to give me the man. I realized that uh, all, all my life, the fact that I had severe abandonment issues, and also the fact that I was not lucky enough to get a lot of love from my family, that void was something that I was trying to complete through a man. So this is the realization that I got after studying deep into it and understanding that why am I repeating those patterns? Why do I always attract a man and then I lose him? Why is he not loving me back? Or why does he feel that I'm clingy? So after I realized that it has to do with my abandonment issues and the fact that I hated myself, like, to put it in a very simple way. I was also telling Anyas that I used to never look at the mirror. I used to hate dressing up. I was never confident. I was not proud of myself. Not that I have not done good things in life. Of course, I've achieved some good things as well. But somehow you're so focused towards looking at things that are not good about you that you constantly loop them in your mind. And it's said that this is a focus-based universe. So everything that you give out, you always get. So after a while, I started working on self love thanks to Anya's. I was introduced to her videos while I was researching for more law of attraction stuff, and it just made a lot of logical sense to me. Like, if I don't love myself, if I'm not confident about myself, why would another man love me ever? And why would he leave his entire world to be with me? So it just doesn't make sense. Another big realization that I got was there is so much more to life beyond a man. You can't keep crying, keep waiting for him to come back to your life to be happy. It's just illogical. You have to be happy within yourself. You need to learn how to enjoy other things beyond the relationship that you're trying to manifest. For some people, it might be their passion. Some people might like to dance, paint, or even their jobs or their professional life. But I feel that it's extremely important that you also give equal, if not more, focus to a life that is beyond a person. So going back to my story, I definitely got back to self love, and how I started was I wrote down 7 or 8 affirmations. They were very easy affirmations, not with something with very heavy words. Simple things like I love you. I used to say this to myself when I used to look at the mirror, and I love you. You are beautiful. You are important. So I used to not start saying things like I am important, because from inside my stomach used to say, "Hey, idiot, you're not important. Why are you
Mm.
saying that?" So going through that journey, I realized that maybe I have to start small. I have to start saying, "You are important," or I have to start saying, "Hey, hey, you might be a little more important today as compared to yesterday." So I just started doing that work. I mean, just those little steps. And initially, I did hate it. Like everyone else, I did not accept it, and I used to think, "Why am I trying to fool myself?" But I think a month down the line, I started loving it, and eventually, it came out of me. I would say, "I am wanted. I am loved. I am important. I am confident," and slowly and gradually, I just loved waking up in the morning and doing my affirmations. I think it became the best part of my day. I also added some work related affirmations, some money related affirmations, because I was looking at a holistic sort of thing to grow into a better person overall, not just get my ex back, which was also a part of the scheme, but I was not focusing entirely on it. So I used to say things like, "I am a money magnet, I am professionally very successful, I am loved by everyone. I am the best thing that can happen to anyone. I'm the best thing that can happen to a man. I'm always in a monogamous relationship." So those kind of things. I just stopped using my ex's name. I stopped focusing on him. I stopped doing any visualizations. I stopped calling him, meeting him. Like, to be very honest, after a month of these practices, you will just stop caring. Like, you will stop having that need, that urge, that
Mm.
willingness to call the guy, because you'll be so contented. You will It's like filling up a tank. So right now, for most of us, that tank is empty, and we try and get someone else to fill that tank with love. But we need to understand that up till a certain level, only we can fill it. There is no third person who can fill that tank for you. So I started actually visualizing a tank, and I would wake up and add 3 or 4 drops of pink water in it, and that would symbolize me adding love to my own tank.
Mm.
So uh, so uh, also, one more thing that I did was, because it was very difficult for me to meditate in the beginning, as I used to be very anxious. I was also on anxiety medicine, and I just could not concentrate. So I started doing a little bit of breath work. I would just concentrate while I would take my breath in and breath out, and I would do that for 2-3 minutes, and I would see that there's a significant change in my anxiety if I'm just concentrating on my breath. And after another month of doing that, I could finally start meditating. So I could straight away not jump into meditating, because my mind used to be like this monkey running here, there, up and down. So it took me a while to calm the monkey down, and eventually focus on doing meditations. So I think last year passed away. I was in the middle of I would say that hot and cold war with my ex, where I would call him, sometimes he would call me, sometimes it would be amazing to meet him, sometimes we would hate each other. So that went on, and I tried my best to get him back. And eventually, I just woke up one morning and I said that, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't want him anymore. It's just consuming too much of me. And definitely, there is so much self-respect that I have for myself, that I don't feel the need to run behind someone to catch hold of my happiness. And side by side, I obviously got involved in practices like drawing. Like, I took up more fitness classes. I started taking care of my body. I started eating better food. So my friends and my family, they just could not believe I'm the same person. Like, now if somebody meets me, they keep telling me, "When will you stop smiling? Like, doesn't your
Mm.
jaw hurt? Like, you're always happy, you're always smiling. How do you do that? You have so much energy." And probably a year back, I would be the saddest person in the room, and nobody wanted to talk to me because I was just gloomy. So
Mm.
so then I wasn't in contact with him for good 2-3 months, and I stopped speaking to him completely. And the strange bit is he started calling me up, and I blocked him from everywhere, and I was just not interested. But hello,
Yep.
did I lose you?
No, no, I can hear you.
Yes, I lost you, I think.
So, as you were saying,
At the moment I completely removed him from my life, I blocked him and I stopped talking to him, he started calling me. And somehow he became very enthusiastic about meeting, about seeing me. And it was very sweet of him to do that. And I have no disrespect for him at all. I've always been a very compassionate person, so I was never angry, or I was never, I just didn't, I was never vicious. So I always had good feelings for him, and I understood that it's not him, it's me, which is causing all the problems in our relationship. So when he started contacting me again, I was happy about it, but honestly I did not react much. And eventually I I think I just moved on. And I I was free and single for a couple of months, and I was really loving it. And trust me when I say it, that you would suddenly see so much interest coming into you, and you would see a lot of men talking to you, a lot of men calling you and wanting to be with you. And yes, so like I was telling, that I started getting a lot of interest from a lot of men. And in general also, I think my friends, my family, everybody started enjoying my company more, and they loved me. So there was this very strong urge inside me where I would crave and cry for someone to tell me that they love me, and suddenly that it had gone. And I could just wake up in the morning and tell myself that, hey, I love you. And that used to be the end of it. And
mm,
I think that I did attract some amazing men in my life while I was doing a lot of self love. And another thing that I do every day is that I sit for 10 seconds when I close my eyes, and I imagine either my mother or a pet like a sweet dog. And I think about feeling love. So I just close my eyes, and I tell myself, oh, I feel so loved today. And again, in the beginning when I was doing I was not feeling so good about it, but I think now it's been close to 3 months that I do it, and I love it. And
mm,
every time let's say a fight happens with a loved one, and I feel uncomfortable, and that's the moment you don't know how to change your mind. Like, how do you completely switch off the bad feelings, or the feeling that when you're self-sabotaging yourself. I think that is the moment when I switch everything off, and I just sit down and I close my eyes and I think about something that I really really love. And suddenly my emotions, they just go away. And I stop feeling that hatred, I stop feeling the anxiety. So I think more than what you say, it has a lot to do with what you feel. And it's not that you can't you can't trick your mind to feel better. Maybe initially you would feel that, why am I tricking it? But trust me, as and when you grow in the practice, you will see that the universe will actually conspire to give you more happiness, to give you more love. And that's how it worked with me. And so professionally, personally, in all aspects of life, even in my health, I started doing significantly better the moment I just left everything and I started concentrating on myself. And trust me when I say that I am first best. I don't say it for the sake of saying it anymore. I mean it. So
mm,
I think through this journey, I attracted another man in my life. And nobody is perfect. You do go back when you hold a feeling for good 20-25 years in your life. you can't change everything overnight. So it took me a year to come here, but obviously when I got into a relationship again, I got my insecurity back. I started feeling a little uncomfortable in my stomach, and I probably started feeling, what if he finds someone else? What if I get my anxiety back, like what if I repeat the pattern all said and done? So in this process, I think I did manifest having another person in his life, which was something that I did completely out of my insecurity. Like there was nothing there, but I think that it was something that grew out of the pain in my stomach that I used to have every time I used to see him with a woman. So that part wasn't really good, I would say. I struggled with it for a good 2 months. That's when I reached out to Anias, and I thought that it will be great if I can speak to her and understand how do I now get rid of the situation now that I've created it. Although by that time I was very conscious and I was very aware as to what you create, and the world doesn't happen to you, you actually make it happen to you. So it's very very important that you continuously be nice to yourself, and you try and keep your emotions and thoughts as positive as possible. Obviously you can't do it 100%, then you wouldn't be human if you can do that. So I would say I was 60-65% there. Then I started seeing a downward spiral. So the moment this situation happened again, I just like broke one day, and I was like, shit, I'm just going back to where I was 6 months back. So immediately I decided to disconnect, because I realized that I work best when I completely disconnect from the external world, and I bring back the focus to myself. So I disconnected with him for a couple of weeks. I went back home to live with my folks, and I started my practices again. So I used to do my affirmations about 50 times a day. What I typically do is I turn on the timer for 7 minutes and I read it from book. I've written them down in my handwriting. I am wanted, I am important, I am a priority, I am safe, I am secure. So I sit in front of a mirror and I keep reading them until the timer plays off after 7 minutes. And it was not, trust me, this time it was not working, and I was really frustrated with myself that what's wrong. So I realized, okay, something is definitely wrong, and I'm still feeling that pit in my stomach. I'm not feeling very comfortable with myself. So I again reached out to Anias, and she said that I should try and do my my inner child meditation. That's something I had never explored earlier. So the first time I did it, I felt nothing, despite carrying so much baggage from my childhood. I was actually hoping that I'll cry and I'll have a lot of emotions, but I felt nothing. And the second time when I did it, oh my God! So I had this heap of emotions, this release of pain, and so much stored anger that I never thought I could have. And after I realized that, okay, I am storing anger against couple of people who were in my childhood, I did forgiveness after that. So I started visualizing that person one by one, and I started forgiving them. So I think that took about 2-3 weeks for me to finally calm down, and trust me, by the third week I started feeling so good about myself that again I stopped caring. Like I was just not bothered at all. Uh, and see, my SV is a very sweet guy. So we were in touch. A lot of people were asking me on email that, were you in touch? So yes, I was in touch, and I was not doing anything extreme. I was not saying that I'll not reply to his messages. I will call him only after 3 hours. I was not setting any deadlines. So if he was texting me, I was just replying. I was not creating an entire scene about it, that, oh, he texted me, oh, he hasn't texted me. So and while this was on, I think he also realized that I've been a little away. So he started making an effort to meet me, started making an effort to send me flowers and send me gifts, and also to check on me again and again if I'm okay, because I didn't really fight with him, as I knew there's no point in fighting. I knew that I had created it. So although I did, I think I was trying to check his phone and his laptop here and there, But trust me, that's the worst thing that you can do to yourself. More than the fact that if he finds out, there will definitely be an argument about it. But uh, the, as a woman, you need to understand that even if a guy moves on with another woman, there's no big deal. There is a life beyond this. You can't give out your self-respect just because you're so desperate about being with someone. And no matter what happens, I just didn't want to lose that dignity. I felt that, and Anias in fact told me that this is not dignified to be doing all these things, and it really, really struck me that day. And I was like, shit, what am I doing? I'm so much more than this. Like, I am just so much more than this. Why am I acting like a kid? And why am I acting so insecure? Like, it's not required. If somebody else makes him happy, he is free to be with that someone. I'm anyway making myself happy. So he doesn't have to be around me all the time. I don't need it. Plus, that's not a sign of a healthy relationship. I need to learn to trust. I have to trust him. I have to trust myself. So I I didn't do that, by the way, ever again. I did get the urge once or twice more, and he's been very kind. He has shared all his passwords with me, and he actually told me, if you want to see my phone, free to do that. You're free to do that. But I realized that that would be really, really small of me to be doing these things. And um, I think after 3 or 4 weeks, after getting back into practice, doing my self-love meditations, I started doing my inner child work every week. And before I sleep, I typically put on the Ho'oponopono prayer, and I listen to it for an hour while I'm sleeping, because I think it releases a lot of pain. For a lot of people, they don't understand that they've been storing so much anger inside them, and they keep taking it out on their SP or on their folks. And it's actually something else that might have happened 10 years back, and you don't even know about it. So Ho'oponopono really lets you release all that pain that you have inside, and it makes you calm. And so I think that's about it. And then everything's fine now. Like, obviously we love each other, and he tells me that often, that he loves me a lot, and that's very sweet of him to say. But I don't compromise on anything anymore. So my time is my time. If I want to be alone, I want to be alone. I don't go gaga about having him, or rather any other person in my life. And if there's ever a discussion about having a long distance, or as a joke, being with someone else, I don't feel any anger. I just say that I love you, and I really want you to be happy. So whatever you want to do in life, you should do it. I don't want to control you, and I hope that something that I can expect from you as well, because I also want to be happy, and I wouldn't want to be controlled by anyone ever. So I think that's how my journey has been. I'm still learning, but I would say that, like I keep saying, you've saved my life. Because last year at one point, I actually thought that I won't be able to live. Like, I was just so sick. I was so sick of myself, sick of craving someone to hold me. I still remember that feeling in my stomach. It sucked. I hated it. And I'm elated. I'm so cheerful, and I just love my life. It's something I never imagined I would say out loud. Like, never. So yeah, that's
That's
how
wonderful.
it's been. Yeah.
It's such a journey, because it's like when you've got this thing in your head that you want a specific person, you think it's so much about them, but there's so much more to you wanting that person. Like you say, it's about, yes, it's fine to want a specific person, but when you're doing it with this desperation, you want someone to love you, you want someone to make up for the abandonment you experience, you put all that pressure on them, and they're not free, because when they don't give it to you, you get angry at them, you check their phone, you check their laptop, you argue with them, you say, why are you not spending more time with me? You're in this, you're fixated and trying to grab all the time, and you don't understand that that's got nothing to do with them. It's all your childhood stuff. And if you deal with it, like you said, you get this big release from the inner child meditation. Sometimes you do it, nothing happens. Other times it just cracks open all this stuff.
Right.
and the whole Ho'oponopono too. And I think, clearing that stuff then stops all that desperation in the present
Absolutely.
with anybody.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I wish I could help more people just like Anya's helped me, because I feel so overwhelmed when I think about myself, and then I think that, oh, there would be more people who just don't know about it.
Yeah.
And they are constantly thinking about holding, grabbing, controlling, owning,
Mm,
and that's just not how it
I
works.
know.
You have to let go. You just have to let
You
go.
do. And I think that's why when you see all this stuff on YouTube about get him to do this and make him do
Oh,
that, I just go, oh my God, you've missed the
get him
most
to
important.
text you in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know. And it's so not about getting anything from anybody when you
Right,
fix the real root problem, as you've talked about today. You don't have to get anything or make anybody do anything.
right.
They're just
It just
there because
flows.
you're good to be
Yeah,
around. You're
right,
relaxed.
right.
And
And
that is what you talked about, is loving without conditions, unconditional
correct,
love.
correct. It's beautiful when you talk about the suffocate him with
Freedom.
space. Yes,
Yes,
that's so beautiful. And
isn't
actually,
it?
that's something that I get back to every week, because sometimes I slip away, like very little now, but sometimes I still do. And I love watching that playlist, because it's
Mm,
so pure in itself. Like, why do you want to force someone to be with you? Like, it has no logical sense.
no.
You need to understand that uh, you'll be happy only if the other person is also happy in the relationship.
Mm,
And for in order to be happy, you need to first be content. You need to fill that void, and
yeah.
post that, you can get your SP. You can do whatever you want. Trust me, I've done all sorts of manifestations, starting from getting a new
Mm,
job, making money, and that was so easy for me,
yeah.
because I was not holding any feelings around it. And I would sometimes
Yeah.
just write it down in my notebook, and I would get it next day, because I was not constantly thinking about it, and I didn't care.
Mm,
But the moment it comes to a person or your love interest, you suddenly involve so many people, so many feelings, your past, your present. Oh, he's just writing one word messages. Shit, he
yeah.
doesn't love me. He didn't reply
Mm,
in the last 3 minutes. Is he with
yeah.
someone else? You have to stop yourself and understand that you're just creating it. It's all in
Yeah.
your head. Stop
It
assuming.
is.
Just
And
stop
stop
assuming.
and stop putting so much pressure on that person. Oh my God, that's
And
this
yourself
pressure.
also.
And
It's not
yourself
required.
also. Yeah, it's not, it isn't. It really isn't. And I love what you said to him. I want you to do what makes you happy. And, I love you and I really want you to be as happy as you can be. And whether that includes being with me or not, that is such a
Right.
gift to give somebody
And
something like that.
it's so beautiful that after 2 days we were just sitting and talking, and he says that, hey, you really make me happy. and
Mm,
and I didn't say that to him with an intention of getting it back, but I
no.
actually meant it. I said that it's a small life. If
Yep.
tomorrow you want to move to Australia and be there for 3 years, then you should not worry about us. You should know that if it's meant to be, it will be. If we are
Yep.
meant to be happy together, then
Yeah.
definitely we will work something out. But that would
Yes.
never mean that you stop yourself from living your dream.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? As soon as you get into that place where you can really mean that, people want to stay with you because you have suffocated them with freedom.
Absolutely.
It's a
It's
wonderful thing, isn't
beautiful.
it? It's so
It's
wonderful
it's
when you're
far
doing it.
more beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's far more beautiful than everything. And the best part is you don't feel any there's no reason to control. You
Nope.
just let go. You're so
All
happy.
the
You wake up in the
time.
morning, you focus on yourself, you have a good day, and
Yeah.
you don't care if he's calling you or not. And the moment you reach there, just see
Yeah.
how he keeps calling you all day. It just
Exactly.
happens.
I
But you
know.
can't
And it's
start with the intent of doing it the other way around. That let
no,
me think of myself because I want him to call me. It doesn't work like that.
it
You
doesn't
have to
work
think
like
about
that.
yourself because I want to be happy. I want to have a better life. So
Yeah.
so that's where you start.
Exactly. And once you understand that that is more important than any relationship, really, that is, you are now, you've set everyone free in your life from having to make
Right.
you happy, especially the
Absolutely.
romantic relationship.
Right. And it's not fair to put that burden on someone else.
It's not.
It's not
It's
fair to expect
very
someone to make you
controlling.
happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sadly, a lot of people do. And sadly, a lot of people suffer because they do.
Absolutely. And
So,
I would be the biggest example last, I don't
yeah.
know, 30 years maybe,
Yeah.
doing the same thing over and over, over and over, over
Yeah.
and over.
Yeah. And me too. Me too. And it's like one day it's like you wake up
And you're like, I am
from
done.
all, yeah, you just go, oh my goodness, I understand what I've been doing and what a pain in the backside I have been to people. Oh, it's wonderful. You just feel like you're not in this suffering and pain anymore. Once you understand everything that you've talked about today, once you understand that, you're free. And you can never, not saying you can never go back to your old ways. But if you go back for a little bit, you go, oh, I don't like feeling like this. Let me get back to where I was,
Right, right,
Mm,
absolutely.
yeah.
And
Wow,
you'll
I'm
become
really proud
smarter
of
at
you.
solving it. Thank
Yeah,
you
you're
so
much
much.
smarter.
It's
I'm very
you
proud of
become
you.
more smarter because you take a step back and then you know
Yep.
that, oh, this is happening because I would have done this wrong. Let me quickly fix it because I just don't like being in this space.
Yeah. You
So that
lose
way. But
your dignity. You lose your feeling of
yeah, should
feeling
never do
dignified.
that.
Yeah.
Should never do that. Nobody in
Mm.
this universe is worth your self-respect.
Yep.
Anyone, like just don't leave it for any bloody person, no matter how
Hey.
handsome he is, how rich he is, it just doesn't matter.
Yep. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I will put the the success story that I read out of yours down below. And you said to me before we started recording that I had actually read out something else of yours on YouTube. Is that correct?
No, it's the same video. My success story.
Yeah. But you
Yeah,
said
it's the same
like
video.
it wasn't some years ago I did something else.
No, I had sent you an email
It was just an
last
email.
year.
Yeah.
Yes, I sent you an
Okay.
email last year thanking you because you practically saved my life.
Oh,
So
yes. Okay.
I would have been caught up saying, Sam loves me, Sam hates me, Sam wants to be with me, Sam
Yeah.
is sending me a message, Sam talks to me every day, Sam this, Sam, and I'm like, what? No, not happening.
Poor Sam. Sam had a lot of jobs to do, didn't he? Poor Sam. Yeah. I think the only
Right.
affirmation, Sam doesn't need to do anything for me today.
That would be such a change for him.
That's the new
Right,
affirmation. Oh,
right.
it's so good. And honestly, when you are in that space, you really give a gift to your relationship and to the people around
Absolutely.
you. They see, like you said, people have seen a change in me. Like you're happy, you're content, you're satisfied. There's
Absolutely.
it's such a
And
wonderful
all
feeling.
these men that you found good looking and they haven't been really talking to you and you had a crush on them, trust me, in these months, almost all of them texted me. It's so
Yeah.
funny, but like I actually went on one of those dates and I was like, are you the same guy? 3 years back, I was just trying to talk to you and you were not even looking at me. And now suddenly I'm the pretty one and I'm the nice one and everybody wants to spend time with me. It's just
Yeah.
amazing how
Yeah.
the universe conspires. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
the most attractive thing is not a woman's beauty, it's a woman's energy.
Absolutely.
Mm. I mean, being beautiful, how you are, you're born how you are, but your real beauty comes from within. It shows on your face, and it's an energy of, I don't need anything from anybody. That is an attractive person, male or female.
Absolutely. And it's
Yeah.
very this is something that I read a lot and I actually thought that I would do, but it's not that it'll happen in a day. It's a journey. You will take a year maybe to reach here, but trust me, when you reach there, it's going to be so worth it.
Yeah.
Uh, and And honestly, at that level of awareness, it's not very, very easy to go back also. Like once you know everything, you wouldn't go back that easily. So it's
No.
it's a one-time thing. I would say that that obviously be around your SPs, feel as much loved as you want through them, but just for a couple of days, try and live with yourself. Just center yourself a little bit more and see how that makes you
Yeah,
feel. And then
exactly.
go back to visualization, go back to doing all the practices that you are doing. But if you keep looking at videos that tell you how soon is he going to text you, and get a
Mm.
date with him, get married to him, and all those fancy stuff, even if you do, trust me, you'll feel empty. You will feel empty. It's you won't like it the moment you have him and he'll say, oh,
Mm.
let's get married. You'll get married after 10 days. Now what? You still have that
And
void.
you still have the, now I'm married, is he going to leave me? Is he going to get a
Is
mistress? Is he going to get another woman? And you're still checking the
absolutely,
phone, you're still checking the
absolutely.
laptop.
Now
Now
he's
you've got
taking me for
something.
granted. Now he's taking me
Yes.
for granted because he's married to me. He knows I'm not going anywhere. So
Yeah, and
it's just
also
an ongoing loop.
it's now you've got something to lose. When once you get engaged and married, now you've got something to lose. And when you're
Right.
fearful, you're always worried about losing it. So
Absolutely.
you
And then
can't marriage and engagement and having children does not fix this fear.
anything, trust me. I since I was an adolescent, I used to always think the answer to all my problems will be getting married. And I was thinking like this until last year, by the way. So I used to
Yes,
always think, oh, I'll marry him, and then everything is going to be fine. But
I
I
know.
actually sat down and I thought about it. I said, okay, let's just imagine I'm married. Now what? I'm six
Yeah,
months into the marriage. Now what? I'm still the
yeah,
same. I still feel anxious. I still feel
yeah.
uncomfortable with myself. I still
Mm,
expect him to be with me like 24 hours a day. That's not practically possible.
it's
He
not
will have a
possible.
life of his own.
Yeah, and
So,
he will be suffocated by that.
yeah, all the
It's
more
like
reason to leave me then.
yeah, and it's almost like he has to play dad and you're the child. He's married a child. He hasn't married a woman.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. I think one of the key reasons why this also happens, having that void or filling that void through a man, because you try and fill your father's figure. A lot of us don't get our dad's love because they are busy with their jobs or for whatever reason. And then the moment we find someone romantic, we try and fit him in that place,
yeah,
which was supposedly for our father. And it doesn't make sense because this man is your equal partner. He cannot do the duties of your dad, and God forbid if you don't have that relationship with your dad, then you need to grow up and suck it up. Like grow
yep,
up, be a woman,
yep,
learn to live a life of your own, and
yep,
to take care of yourself. Stop expecting your dad will do it, your mom will do it, your boyfriend will do
yeah,
it, or your
yep.
cousins will do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. Do it for yourself, and
Do it
and
for
stop crying
yourself.
about it, that
Yep,
I'm unlucky and why is this happening.
yep.
Everybody's got problems, so
Mm,
suck it up and grow
yep.
up, like, or
Yes.
just keep crying. Just keep crying for the rest of your life, that this didn't work out in my favor, that didn't work out in
Yeah.
my favor, or take control in your own hands and then say that,
Mm,
okay, I'll do it for myself.
mm. But I think when you're in that state of constantly looking for love on the outside, you're so self-centered. It's like you forget that other people have a life, that they have their own troubles, that they have their own
Right.
you're
Absolutely.
so focused on you, and I want this person to listen to me, and I need to be heard, and I need to be loved, and you're so consumed, you're in a very selfish, self-centered state. You're very
Absolutely.
unaware of other people, very unaware, and that's sad because
Absolutely.
yeah.
It's
So
sad. And
yes,
it even at this time when I was feeling very self-centered, and I used to call all my friends desperate to be heard. So one of my friends, who's also a teacher in spirituality, she told me that one day you should just sit down and listen to someone else. Just call up a friend without the intent of you being heard, but of the intent of hearing him out. And
yep.
even if you speak to one person once a week, you would realize that there are more problems in the world, and you need to grow
Mm,
beyond your own boyfriend and your own specific person, and
yes.
see how you can contribute to other people. If not in a solid way, you can at least hear them. That's the
Yeah.
least you can do. Just the way you expect us to listen to your problems, and I love doing it,
Yes.
but Can you also listen to me sometimes? And that was
Yes,
so profound. It was just so profound. And I
I
thought, shit,
know.
what have I been doing?
I know. You realize then, oh my goodness, I have been just so focused on me, 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 me. It's quite, all of a sudden you feel a bit of shame. You feel a bit embarrassed at how you've been so consumed with yourself that you don't even think about
Yes.
other people.
Anybody else, their feelings, their emotions, their happiness. All
Yeah.
said and done, for people who live with you, if you are unhappy, you make them unhappy, whether you like it or not, because
Yeah.
you're in a bad mood all day, you pass out that energy to them.
Yep. Exactly right. And you become a burden on them. Yeah.
Yes, and
Wow. This is fantastic. Can I ask you before we
yes,
finish,
yes.
now what do you do for a daily routine, or what sort of things do you do at the moment?
So I okay. So I don't have a fixed routine. I felt that every time I tried uh, managing an Excel sheet with what I'm supposed to do today, it became a little mechanical. So
Yeah.
I started hearing myself a little more now. Although
Yeah.
I do my breath work every day for 10 minutes, where I
Yeah.
just concentrate on my breath, because that's very important to not exactly control, but to maneuver your mind. See, all said and done, when you have thoughts, it's facilitated by your mind. If you know how to get basic control over it, then the spiral that we sometimes just run into, it'll stop, because you know how to stop it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
the moment I start with I am not good enough, then it reaches to I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm short, I'm dark. So if you have a control on your mind, which happens if you meditate, even on a general level, you don't have to do any affirmations. What
Yeah.
happens is that you'll stop at the I'm not good enough. You'll just stop there, because you know how to taper with your mind and tell it that stop, and it will stop. So that's
Yep.
why I like to concentrate on my breath for 10 minutes every day. I do my inner child work once a week, because I feel that a lot has changed since I started doing it. So I definitely need to do more of that. I carry a lot of a lot of baggage from my past.
Yeah.
I still listen to Ho'oponopono.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the most mindless thing to do before
Yes.
you're going to sleep. Just play it on, and you'll feel so good.
Yeah.
Let it play, and then it'll turn off on its own. So that's
Yes.
something I do. And every time I see a slight dip in my mood, or I, I I get that emotion of controlling again, or controlling the world again, I go back to my affirmations. I think the moment you look at yourself in the mirror, and you ask yourself, what the hell are you doing? I think you become answerable to yourself that very second. And then you want to change your thoughts, and you want to go back to feeling loved, feeling wanted. And trust me, if you keep doing this, after 3 or 4 months, more than 60% of your thoughts will automatically turn positive. It
Yeah.
goes without saying, like, I didn't force myself to do it. Right now, if even if you succumb me to saying that I hate myself, I'll say it, but I won't feel it. It's actually
Yeah.
turned the other way around now.
Yes. That's what happens. Yes. Isn't that
Yes,
wonderful?
yes. And
Yeah.
stay away from the man's life. Like, don't try to understand who is he talking to. Stay away from social media. I've
Yep.
completely disconnected from social media. Don't
Yeah.
try to know who is liking his messages, who is doing what.
Mm.
It doesn't matter. Like, just let it go. Whoever it is, you're the best.
And focus on
Like,
you and your life,
focus on
not what he's
yourself.
doing. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's not
Mm.
required. Don't keep checking
It's
your
not.
phone. Don't.
No.
It's very it's undignified for you to do that all day.
Very undignified and very, it's like you're an addict chasing a drug, and it's never enough. You're
Absolutely
never going to find out enough. You're never going to be, you're just feeding the fear, feeding the fear, feeding the fear, feeding the fear.
right. So I think
Yeah.
that's a couple of things that I do. And again,
Lovely.
even now, even today, I don't visualize myself with my specific person, or I
Yeah.
don't do any relationship related affirmation. I just don't do
Yep.
all that. I
Yep.
am super happy giving myself that 1 hour and not thinking about someone else. It's not worth it.
Yep. Yep.
And
I
I
so
think I'm
agree.
extremely happy when my with my relationship right now. It's actually the best one that I've ever had in my life, because
Yeah.
I feel calm, and so does he, I think,
Yeah.
because I gave him that space.
Yep. Yeah. And that's exactly what you said. You don't do SP meditations. You don't do SP relationship affirmations. You just, all of a sudden, you lose the desire to do all that stuff, because just doing the self-love and affirming yourself and feeling good about yourself, then when you see that person, just the
It just comes
relationship,
to, yeah,
it's just a reflection of you. And if you feel amazing and calm and secure, and you have no fear, you've got no anxiety, you're not trying to get, you've stopped all those behaviors, the relationship is a reflection of you, and it just looks after itself. It's easy. Relationships are easy
absolutely.
when you fix this.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
anyway don't think about being thin every day, right? It's the same thing. Like if let's say that you are very pretty and you are of a certain weight, do you keep saying it to yourself again and again and again to maintain that? No, right? It's just
No,
how it is. So
it's
it's the
just
same
how
thing
it
with
is.
relationships. Once you fix it from inside, you don't have to say it again and again.
No, that's so true. So true. Yeah, I don't think I've done a relationship meditation for years. I just love, like what you said, you know, in the morning I put on the Ho'oponopono, and at night I put it on, and or I might just listen to a beautiful piece of music and just breathe in and out and just enjoy the calm and the peace and just being in my own skin. And you do more of those things and you stop doing all those other things, because it's, you know, that's not where the
Absolutely.
answer is. The answer isn't in those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Grandma's
Thank you so
Kitchen, for
much.
coming and sharing that story. I honestly, there is nothing more satisfying to me than to hear someone get to this place. It's like, you know, I do say the same things over and over, and there is still so much getting happening, and I understand that, because it's a process of learning the importance of this, and getting it wrong, and then still trying to get love, and then you get hurt and you get blocked, or someone goes off with somebody else. But you're learning so much, you're moving up the levels of understanding, and then you get to the place where you realized the most important thing was the simplest thing, was all I got to do is work on my mind and making myself feel dignified, beautiful, loved, wanted, secure. That's it. That's the work. And it's very simple. In the end, that's all you do, is that little piece, that, and all that other stuff, all those other techniques, you stop doing them, because they're not the important thing. The real jewel, the real gem, is what you have talked about today.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And thank you again for helping me become this person I am today. And I'm extremely grateful. And I keep telling you that if you're around sometime, if you're here in my country, please feel free to reach out. I would love to host you. And I don't know how will I ever I don't know if repay is is the word, but what I'm trying to do is help more people so that we can help more and more
Yeah.
people reach this stage. I think
Yeah.
that's the best way you can give it
Yep.
forward.
Definitely. Thank you. That's lovely. And I do think that's what happens, is you do, you know, people paid it forward to me, and then I pass it on through the YouTube, and then people then learn, and you can do all this stuff for free. You don't need to spend money.
Absolutely.
You can do all this stuff for free if you really, really listen to the important parts, and then you do it. You can do all this stuff for free. You don't have to spend any money. And that's what's so wonderful, is it's a very personal practice, very personal practice.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Do you want to say goodbye to the
Thank you so
viewers?
much. Yes, of course. Like, okay, bye. Bye, nice. I'm glad that you guys took out time to watch this video, and I hope that I can actually make some change in your life. All the best, and know that you can do it. Just keep reminding yourself that you can.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you, Grandma's Kitchen. And everyone, as always, anything that we discussed in the video today will be down below in the description for you, and you will be able to start to apply it if you're in this moment still suffering and feeling unloved and unwanted and not good enough, that you can practice this and start to get yourself out of it. So lots of love, and I will see you all in the next YouTube.